Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, whoever's out there watching. Mountain Fitness Coach Jimmy here, about to go over the fundamentals of boxing. Now, basically what that's gonna consist of is proper stance, footwork, how to hold your hands, where to hold your hands, and the 4 basic punches in boxing, which is the jab, the straight, the hook, and the uppercut. So, first of all, what I like to do is kind of get just a little warm up. And so we're just gonna sit, nothing pretty, nothing fancy. Warm up with the 1-2s, straight out, full extension on your punches. Nice, good rhythm. Try to keep your core tight. On just 1-2. Okay? Not for too long, just to try to loosen up the shoulders, get the blood flowing. Okay? Couple more seconds. All right. Now we're gonna go underneath with the uppercuts. Elbows nice and tight, nice rhythm. Move your legs a little bit. You don't want to stand in one place. All right. Simple as that. With boxing, it seems complicated because there's a lot going on at once in a small amount of time, but it's the simplest thing ever once you get the muscle memory down. Once you kind of get used to the movements, it's all good. So, first thing is a proper stance. Now with your stance, you want your legs shoulder width apart. I like mine just a little bit outside the width of my shoulders. That makes the difference between standing on like the tip of a number 2 pencil or a tree trunk. You want a nice solid stance. You don't want to be too close or too bladed. You don't want your legs too close. Throws off your balance. You don't want them too far because that kind of interferes with your mobility. Nice, about shoulder width apart, slight bend in your knees. You don't want your knees locked out, okay? And you don't want to be too much of in a squat. Just about here, just enough so you can rock back and forth on the balls of your feet. Now you might hear some people say, on your toes, on your toes. You don't want to be on your toes. You want to be just on the balls of your feet so you're able to shift your weight comfortably, okay? So a good exercise I like to do for that, like I say, good stance, elbows tight, hands up, and just rock back and forth, okay? Rock back and forth, get used to shifting your weight because in boxing, when you're moving, you're constantly shifting your weight. No matter what you're doing, if you're throwing a combination, if you're defending, if you're moving, you're constantly shifting your weight back and forth. So like I said, a good stance is very, very, very important. So just rock back and forth for a couple of seconds, get used to it. And like I say, from another angle, my feet are about, like I say, 4 inches apart maybe, elbows tight, and I'm just rocking back and forth. It's better with music. You can kind of catch a rhythm. Okay? Kind of get used to that. Now, hand placement is very important because that's going to determine what punch, where you throw the punch, what defense you're using, and when to use it all. Standard defense or standard hand placements was going to be their elbows in tight, okay? Your hands or your knuckles right up under your eyes where I like to keep them, like the guys in football or baseball with the eye paint, right up under your eye. That way, you can fire your shots. You still got proper defense, okay? And you can see shots coming from a peripheral. You have the high guard, same thing, but now your hands are a little bit higher, okay? It's better for defense and for your head or head blows, but it leaves your body a little bit more exposed because your elbows are higher, okay? Another thing, it takes away your peripheral because if your hands are in gloves here, you won't be able to see looping punches as good, okay? You have the Philly shell, which is pretty much the standard stance, but your left hand goes and covers your body. Now, if you're a left-handed fighter, everything I'm explaining to you, you can do from the opposite side. So you'd be here, and it's just your right hand to go here, okay? And that way you can shoulder roll with punches, kind of takes away from your jab a little bit because your hand has to travel a little bit farther coming from your waist versus here, okay? Back to the right hand, same thing. Your hand is here. To jab, you have to cover more distance, okay? But it's a good effect if you're in defense on the ropes or in the corner, you can cover more than just here, side to side. And then you have the low guard, with your left hand really low. I don't really recommend this one, this is more of the Roy Jones, Muhammad Ali, Mayweather kind of, and that takes years and years of practice. You have to be comfortable enough in your training to execute that one. Me personally, I'm pretty much here with it. I can see things coming. I can get my punches to the target quicker. Just makes for easier time for me. But boxing, this all comes down to comfort, what you're comfortable with, okay? So now, going into that, we're gonna start getting into punches. Now, with punching, I don't want you to think of it like you're throwing a punch, like in baseball or football. You wanna be able to sit down on your punches and drive the punch. Whether it's a jab, straight, hook, uppercut. You wanna pivot and be able to drive. Now, there's 4 points of pivot in boxing. Starts in your feet. Everything comes from your feet and your legs. You use your legs a lot more in boxing than you do your arms. Legs, core, then arms. But start in your feet, your knee, your hip, and your shoulder. When you're throwing a jab, there's two ways. You can either step with the jab, and notice everything is straight. Straight off my chin, straight out. Step and drive the punch. Drive the punch, okay? Rule of thumb in boxing, your toe goes where you throw. So, jab, 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 jab. Elbow tight. I want to pretend like I have a phone in my hand, like I'm talking on the phone. This stays here, all right? With your left hand, almost like you're holding the shield. This stays up. When you're throwing the right hand, a straight right, number 2. You want to twist and pivot. Keep everything straight, your chin down. Left hand, stuck to your face, stuck to your ribs. Pivot. Pivot. I'm not sure if you can see my foot on this one, but pivot. Just like baseball players, when they're at the plate and they swing, it all comes from the legs. Same thing with the uppercut. Right hand, you pivot. 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 With the hook. Left leg. Pivot. 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 Footwork is very important. Biggest mistakes that I see being made in the gym, besides short arming your punches, and that's when you don't get full extension. People try to throw fast and hard, and they smother their punches. It's good for inside fighting, but for just normal technique, you want to be able to extend your punches. Full extension on your punches. You want to do what's called release the punch. And that's the difference between when you throw a jab here, okay? That's just throwing. Full extension and releasing, I'm letting my shoulder blade release. Full extension. And I'm not leaning over my knee. You never want to go over, get top heavy. You don't want to lean over. You're reaching, your balance is off, your reaction time is off, you're gonna get caught with something. So with the full extension, now with the right hand, same thing. It's the difference between here or this and this, okay? We don't want to practice bad technique, we don't want to practice bad habits. So whatever we're going through when we're doing this, make sure you're getting full extension on your punches. Same thing with the hooks. Releasing the shoulder blade, okay? Uppercuts. Releasing the shoulder blade, okay? Now, a big mistake or a big problem I see when people throwing the jab is when they're throwing the jab, they're trying to be quick and they dip the shoulder, which is they open their shoulder to punch. You don't want to do that. Forward motion, straight out, straight out, straight out. Chin tucked, hand up, straight out. With the right hand, big problem is people want to load up and throw kind of an overhand like go swimming. You don't want to swim. Everything is right off the chin, right back to the chin. Boom. And I'm not leaning. A lot of people want to lean when they're throwing. Big no-no. You want to stay on your line. Your line is pretty much, you want to pretend like there's a stick going from the top of your head, down your spine, coming out your bottom. So I can move all of this I want, but I'm rarely getting off that line, okay? Next thing, shadow boxing. We're gonna do all this to kind of shadow box here in a second. When you shadow box, it's like anything in boxing, you wanna visualize someone or something in front of you, okay, an opponent in front of you. Know that after you throw your punches, something's coming back. So you wanna move your hands, of course, your head and your feet. A lot of people just wanna stand in one place and throw punches, but not move their head, not move their feet. You do that in shadow boxing, you do that in front of the bag, you do that on the mitts. Eventually you get in the ring, what are you gonna do? You perform like you practice. So if you're in the gym and you just shadow boxing everything you're doing, but you're just in one place, you get in the ring, it's the same thing. So like I say, you wanna throw a couple punches, move your head, move your feet. Move your head, move your feet, angles. Okay, I'm trying not to get too advanced. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. I've been doing this for a while and it's easier to show than to do, but it's kind of weird. Nobody's in front of me, so bear with me, please. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna start off with maybe 4 rounds. The first round, just nothing but the jab, nothing but the left hand, setting things up. Everything in boxing is set up with the left hand, or if you're a southpaw, with the right hand, but the jab, the lead hand, whatever foot is in front, that's your lead hand, of course. That's what we set up on. So I switch up a lot anyway. So the jab, that's gonna set up your right hand. The right hand set up the hook. The hook sets up the uppercut. It's all kind of a big circle. So first thing first, jab. We're gonna do a few jabs just to kind of get used to throwing it the right way, please. So like I said, right hand up. If you're a right-handed fighter, keep it glued to your cheek, elbow tight, resting right there on your rib cage, okay? Left-handed fighters, same thing, but just reverse. Your left hand glued to your face, right leg forward, right leg forward, here. Full extension, release your shoulder blade. And it's not like you want to throw it out, you want it to be smooth. Out and back. Right-handed, here. Now, you'll notice sometimes I might step with my jab to kind of get a little bit more on it, or I'll stay here, but I'll shift my weight forward. There's 2 kind of punches in boxing. There's a punch to close the distance or get close, so I might. There's a punch to gain distance to get away from someone, and you would just go right here. Now, when boxing, footwork is kind of goofy. It's backwards. Whatever foot is in position or closer to the direction you want to go, that's the one you move first. So for instance, if I wanted to move forward, I'd pick up my right leg, move that forward, and slide my back leg. Another angle. Pick up, slide. Pick up, slide. If I wanted to go backwards, I'd start with this one. Pick up, slide my front foot. Boom. If I move this one 2 inches, this one moves 2 inches. To the left, same thing. I move this one first. Going to the right, same thing. You never want to cross your feet. Out of position, you're off balance. You wouldn't even need to get hit with a punch, just pushed and you're going down. So, matter of fact, what I just did right there, you don't want to do that. You always want somewhat of a shuffle, okay? Pivoting, same thing. You just plant your foot, spin. Plant your foot, spin. If you're pivoting the other way, same thing. You're gonna plant this foot, open your hip, spin. kind of advanced, kind of complicated, but when you get into shadow boxing, movement is very, very important. Okay? So I'm gonna get this timer. I'm gonna go ahead and do 4 3-minute rounds with 60 seconds rest in between. Give me 1 second. Me again. Standard, just Everlast ring timer. I got mine set for a 3-minute round with 60 seconds rest period in between. That's what I'm used to in boxing. You can do 2 minutes if you want. You can do 4 or 5 minutes. It's all depending on you, what you want to do. Okay, so like I say, the first round, I'm pretty much just gonna use nothing but my jab. Boom, boom, boom. Moving my head, nothing but the jab. Now, you don't have to go as fast or throw as many punches as I'm gonna do. I don't even know how many I'm gonna throw. Just kind of feel it. If you feel you need to throw less, throw less. If you feel you want to throw more, by all means, throw more. It's your comfort level. It's what you're capable of doing. Second round, we're gonna add the straight right hand or the 2. 1-2s at the same time. Side to side, I'm gonna be slipping punches, rolling under punches, using my pivot. Round 3, I'm gonna introduce the hook. Now with the hook, very, very important. See, a lot of people when they throw a hook, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, they want to open up, come down here, and it's not how you want to throw a hook for a few reasons. As soon as you open up like this here, a veteran or a skilled boxer is going to see that opening and throw a straight right hand down the pipe, tear your chin up, okay? Hand is here, we go here. Now, the big debate around gyms is when you're throwing your hook, do you want your palm in, meaning your thumb is facing up, or palm down, which your thumb is facing you? To me, it's about comfort, whatever feels better for you. Now, the advantage of throwing the hook with your palm in facing you is your bones here, everything is in alignment. Your forearm, your wrist, your hand, everything is in alignment. Boom. But since we want to turn our punches over, and I'll get to that and explain that in a second, you go here, eventually you should be in this position anyway, okay? And that way you get the torque on your punch, releasing the shoulder, boom. But basically from here to here, boom, boom. A short, jarring shot, okay? It's not a long kind of a whipping shot. There is a punch called a check hook. It's not a jab, it's not a hook, but you do that on the pivot. Boom. That's something different. Okay, so the hook, nice and tight, boom. Got pivot on our foot, hand is still here. And the uppercut. Biggest mistake with the uppercut, when you're here, if your target is here, you need to reach it there. Boom, if that's your opponent's chin, boom, you wanna go there. A lot of people, like the hook, they'll open up and come way down here to try to throw it. You don't need, if your fist is here, why would you bring it down here just to get back here? Teach you this in school. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Boom, nice and short, nice and tight. You don't want a chicken wing and let your elbows start getting out. Be susceptible to body punches, okay? So like I say, round 1, just a jab. Round 2, 1-2s. Round 3, 2, 3. And round 4, 1, 2, 3, uppercut. Like I say, the whole time I'm gonna be trying to move my head, move my feet, create angles, because you never really wanna be directly in front of your opponent in boxing. You want your right leg lined up with them, but you never really wanna be directly in front. Kinda always wanna create angles when you can. Boom, boom, boom. Create angles, boom, because that way they have to find you. Puts them out of position and off balance, more work for them, less work for you. So, that's it. I got my timer set. And what you're gonna hear is the first bell, that's gonna be for 3 minutes or 2 minutes, 50 seconds. You're gonna hear a 10-second bell. Boom, 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 10 seconds. Now, whatever drill I'm doing, no matter what I'm doing, I hear the 10-second bell, I stop, I sit down, and I do what's called machine gun, which is pretty much throwing as many 1-2s as fast as and hard as I can to that final bell. So bear with me on this one. That's just what I like to do. You don't have to do it, but here we go. So all right. So like I said, I'm here, nice bounce, legs nice and loose, jab. Notice when I throw the jab, I pop it, bring it right back. Right off my chin, right back to the chin. Pop, pop, pop. You want to breathe. Breathing is very important. I like to breathe with my punch. Move your head a little bit. Roll under the punch. Now the double jab, that's very good. I like doing that double jab. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. Now when you throw the double jab, first of all, you want to make sure you turn your punches over. That's what gives it that torque. 3 o'clock or 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right back to 12. Turn that punch over. Turn that punch over, okay? Now when you throw the double jab, where people go wrong is they put their hand out like this. They don't turn it over. That's one problem. Another problem, when they bring it out, they don't bring it back far enough. It's kind of doing that. It's not, you want to bring it out about halfway just to reload it, just enough to reload, and you push it back out. Pop, 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 okay? Another problem is, okay, they bring it all the way back. You don't have to do that. That's not a double jab, that's a 1-1. Different combination. But like I said, back on your bounce, right hand glued, pop. Right hand stays up. Now, as bad as I want to throw a 1-2 or a different combination in the sequence, thing is, 4 rounds, 4 different drills. Might walk them down a little bit. Mix it up. You don't ever really want to just keep going in the same direction. Like you won't see me just going in the same direction this way or this way. Now, that was a 10-second bell. So I'll stop what I'm doing, just dig in, and throw the 1-2. Time. Now, that was the first round. And like I said, we just did the jab. You can throw as many or as few jabs as you need to, whatever's comfortable for you, okay? So now, round 2, we're gonna incorporate the right hand. So with the jab, right. Very important to get rotation, sit down on that right hand. Sit down. Full extension, releasing the shoulder blade. Boom, okay? 10 seconds to go. This in the ring where they say seconds out, so your corner man get out, take the stool out. Here we go. Now, even though we're adding the 2, we're still not abandoning that jab. Everything off the jab. Double jab right hand is one of my favorite combinations. I call that the 2-piece in the biscuit. Now remember, you don't have to go as fast or throw as many punches as I throw, but you do want to throw them correctly. Full extension, full rotation. Try to engage your core. Breathing is very important. Deep breaths in through your, see, through the uppercut. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Breathe with your punches. If you're gonna throw a series of punches or a pretty decent combination, in through your nose and and notice, whatever punch I throw when I'm done, if I'm gonna roll out, I'll roll to the side of my last punch. Throw the right hand, roll under to your right. Throw the jab, roll under to your left. It's a matter between getting away from danger and walking into danger. You see me doing that, I'm envisioning if somebody was throwing a 1-2 on me. 1, 2, 1, 2. Parry, you use your feints. You know, you fake it, then you pop it. Like I said, you use your legs a lot more. Oop, do that uppercut again. Use your legs a lot more than one might think. 10-second bell. Machine gun. Time. Coach breathing all heavy. But the difference is, it's just a punch output. Throw more, work a lot more calories, throw less. It is what it is. So now this one, go incorporate the left hook. Boom, and like I said, for you southpaws, everything I'm doing, you just do from the opposite way. Be your right hook. So, remember to get pivot. Your arm is at a 90 degree. You want to get that elbow on the shelf. All right. So once again, everything off the jab. Start everything with the jab. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Remember, whatever hand you end up with, that's where you want to roll to. Right hand, right side, and with the left side. There's that uppercut again. That's next round. Change levels. Head shot, body shot. Stick them up top. Stab him in the chest. Sorry, I went out of frame. I'm used to working in an 18 by 18 foot ring. Keep on to throw that uppercut. And you notice, whatever punch I'm throwing, that opposite head is up, protecting that side of my head. Jab, straight, hook, elbows tight. It's the first time I'm shadow boxing, I have to explain. Next round, Jay. It's hard when you throwing combinations, certain punches, 10 seconds. And that punch you can't use. Full extension. Even in the machine gun drills, you want full extension on your punches. Very important. Now, round 4, all the punches. Jab, straight, your hooks. Now I can throw that uppercut. I love the uppercut because when executed properly, it's a sneaky punch that no one sees coming, especially if it's from your rear side, meaning your backhand. You go to cover, you come up, boom, right there. Has the power to change the fight in an instant. Last round. Like I said, I switch sometimes, so I'll go southpaw. Same thing, it's different side. Now, like I said, for you beginners, you don't have to do 3-minute rounds. You can go 2-minute round. It's perfectly okay. If you can do 3, beautiful. Back when I used to compete, we used to do 5-minute rounds. Just so when you come game time, you won't gas out. I ain't threw this many punches in a while. That was a lazy left hook I threw. Most likely I would have ate a right hand for it. There we go. Throw a flurry in there every now and again, it's okay. Just make it flow. Boxing is a rhythm, just like your heartbeat. Everybody's is different. Find your rhythm. Last 10 seconds. And there you have it. 4 rounds, shadow boxing, incorporating all your punches, building up. Coach Jimmy, Mountain Fitness. See y'all next time.